Howdy everybody, it's your pal Misty. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. It is time for your Monday night live stream. It has been 2 weeks since our last live stream, so we will give people a minute to join in case there are ads that people are watching. If you're here for the replay, hello and welcome to the live stream this evening. I'm still a little bit under the weather. The congestion is in rare form, as happens this time of the year. So I don't know how much of a voice I have left or how long it will last this evening. So we may not make it our normal hour, but we will do what we can. So I hope y'all have had a great week. Month's already almost half the way over. In less than 2 weeks, this will no longer be my permanent place of residence. And I just keep trying to remind myself that take in, all the things, because you get complacent in a lot of things, right? Which is part of what we'll talk about tonight as well. But you get accustomed to the things that you see all the time, and sometimes you stop appreciating them. I can think of different times where that's happened. Like I remember over 20 years ago, I went to Boise, Idaho, to the Hewlett-Packard headquarters. It was a company I worked for at the time. Well, I outsourced, but that was a company that I represented, I should say. And right outside their headquarters was just a beautiful mountain. And every break, I would go outside and I would look at the mountain. And they all thought I was going outside to smoke cigarettes. And so somebody had asked me for a lighter, and I was like, I don't have a lighter. They're like, oh, I thought you smoked. I was like, no, I don't. They're like, why are you going outside on every break? I'm like, to look at the mountain. Because I was in Dallas at the time still, and that's where I was born and raised, and we don't have mountains there. We have hills at best in some locations. So they had kind of forgotten that they had this big, beautiful mountain outside that someone may want to go look at every day, because they had become complacent. They had become accustomed to it. So as I spend these next few weeks, I want to remember, like they have their special spots that they like to go to the bathroom. Barnum's got his favorite tree, all that kind of stuff, where I just want to soak it all in and remember all of the things, good, bad, and ugly, whatever. Just remember all the things, and it's been helping to get me through. So welcome to everyone who is here. Thank you, Mary. You're almost home. You're listening in the car. Hello, Coach. Kirsten is here. And Mama. Oh, you had technical difficulties. I'm sorry, Mama. I don't know what they were, but I'm glad you got them solved. I was just talking about, one, that I'm still not feeling my best, and two, that we are less than 2 weeks away from the move, which is part of what we'll be talking about this evening. So I don't know how long I'll last. My voice has kind of been in and out today, but I actually feel better. It's just this weather gets this congestion. So I got some Mucinex, and I've been taking that, and it's been helping dry out some of it. But anyway, it's fine. Hello, Janine. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Mary is saying hello to Coach and my mama. Coach is telling Mary hi. Everybody's talking to each other. Hello, good afternoon, good evening to you. Or good morning for those of you who will be here for the replay. Probably Celine and Angel. I don't know that Camille's here right now, so maybe Camille. Oh, Gina's here. Hello, Gina. Thank you for being here. You got to go to Walmart. Okay, you can go to Walmart. You can always catch the replay. I would say have fun at Walmart, but I don't know how you feel about Walmart. Walmarts are okay. Oh, you're good, Cheryl. We're just now getting started. I hadn't even really started talking. Oh, you lost your mind. I hope you find it. I'd help, but I'm busy doing a live stream. Anyway, yeah. So I think we'll just recap the last 2 weeks. So the last live stream we had was our non-scale victories live stream, which was a great live stream. And then that Friday, I had put out a video that I had hit a wall and that I was exhausted, physically exhausted, emotionally exhausted, all of the types of exhausted. All of my buckets were depleted. And then I got sick. So I was thinking about it last week, and I was wondering if, and this is part of what we'll talk about, did I get burnt out because I was sick, or did I get sick because I was burnt out? But either way, I got sick. So sick to the point where, so like that Monday, I woke up and I mean, everything hurt. So I took a test to see, because I had just been with the girls that weekend, and I was like, oh no, why am I so sick? And it was fine. It was negative. It continued to be negative. So I was like, well, let me join boot camp and get some type of movement in. And so I think I lasted like 15 minutes, and I was like, I'm done. Of course, everybody was real proud that I did anything. And it did make me feel better to kind of get up and move around. But Monday was really tough. It was really tough. Took a couple of naps, I think, on Monday. And then I started feeling a little bit better. And then I had my clients come in. So Tuesday night, Tuesday we met. And Tuesday night, we went out to eat at Pappadeaux's. And then Wednesday, we had our full day meeting. And then that night, we went out to Top Golf, which was actually, I have to say, it was super fun. I've never done that before. I don't know if y'all have been to Top Golf or if you play golf or what, but we didn't have any idea what we were doing in our little bay. It was me and my boss and the TA manager and one of our admins, but we call them our culture champions. They're basically an admin as far as that demeans what they do, though, by saying that. But like, she's the one that set everything up and comes up with the plans and organizes it all. And anyway, so it's an important job. Anyway, so we ended up just being a bay of girls somehow. It just was the way it ended up being. And they stopped playing after like the first hour. And so I just kept hitting the ball for like the next 2 hours, pretty much by myself. I just play all of the people as I went. But it was a lot of fun, but I was exhausted by the time I was like, why did you do that? It was one of those things where I was feeling a little bit better. We had sat a lot for the meeting, so I hadn't used very much of my physical bucket. And so I had physical bucket left because that morning I had to go to the site, so I could only do 30 minutes of boot camp that morning. And I did not use any weights that day. I didn't use any weights all week last week, actually, to be honest. I think the only weights I might have used was like the 2 pound hand weights. So anyway, spent the week pretty sick, trying to prioritize my buckets for my client visit. And on Monday night, yeah, I just couldn't do the live stream. There was just no way. As not good as I feel today, I feel immensely better than I did last week. So that's why you didn't get any updates from me. Uh, Again, I don't know where my voice is kind of going. I'm kind of losing my voice a little bit, but I feel better. Even that walk that Sunday, it was one of those things where normally at some point Mary has to grab me and be like, slow down. You're on fire. Because I'm like, I don't know, I do. I start out at a nice steady pace, and then I just get faster and faster and faster and faster until finally they have to just make me stop. So or slow down. But that Sunday last week, we did one lap around, which is like a little over 2 miles, I think. And when I tell you, I was in the back the whole time, exhausted. I felt like I had done marathon. Like I, we had to go, they had to go to the bathroom after we were done with that one lap, which normally we do at least 2 laps on a short day. That's the that's like the minimum. Like when we're all kind of not feeling it, we'll do like 2 laps. We did one lap. They went to the bathroom. I told Amy I felt like I've run a marathon. I don't know what's happening. My heart rate was like 120 something. My average heart rate when we walk is like low 90s, low to mid 90s. And for that walk that day, my average heart rate was like 115. Like I was pumping it. Like it was just, and I should have known something was wrong then. We all knew something was wrong, but yeah, I just ended up getting really sick. So let's check in with the chat because I've been talking for quite a minute there and I've seen some people come in. Sherry is here from Iowa. Thanks, Sherry, for being here. Lindy is here. Hello, Lindy. Natasha is here. Hello, Natasha. I hope you got some rest, Natasha. Natasha we were all kind of just not really feeling it yesterday. Mary was tired. Natasha was tired. Natasha was tired because she's a good person and did did a lot of manual labor to help the environment, but still tired. So I hope you got some rest. You've always wanted to go there. Where did I say I went? Anybody? Lindy? Where were we talking about? Teresa's here. Hello, Teresa. Thanks for joining. I haven't seen you in a minute, Teresa. Everybody's hello, hello, hello. Yes, I am a little bit like the Energizer Bunny, but I get faster and faster and I get excited. I like y'all, and I'm happy to be there. And when I start to walk, my brain wants to go faster, faster, faster. Lindy says she's glad I'm doing better. Yes, I am doing much better. Again, I don't know what's going wrong with my voice. I've been very congested. Oh, Talk Golf. That's what we were talking about. We were talking about Talk Golf. Yeah, you should go. It's super fun. It was like, I don't have any idea how much it normally costs or anything like that, but I've been told there's like cheaper days or discounts or things that you can get, but super fun. It was really fun. Was I good at it? Nope. Did I care? Nope. Did I get better? Markedly. Like I got a lot better. Like I could have asked them for tips, but I didn't. They're busy. I talked to the other people like in between hitting because, like I said, the last 2 hours I was all by myself. But even if you don't know nothing about golf, even if you've never played, which is pretty much my level. I mean, and I've certainly never played in this size of a body before. It was fun. So I'd say give it a go. I'd say give Top Golf a go. Natasha said she got rest nap central yesterday afternoon. I did not manage a nap yesterday afternoon. I wanted one. I did not manage one. Charlotte, she says, hello, beautiful people. Hello, beautiful Charlotte. Thanks for joining the live stream. So I wanted to talk this evening a little bit about burnout because it is a real thing that can happen. And to answer the earlier question that I asked of, do I think the sickness led to the burnout or the burnout led to the sickness? I definitely think that the burnout led to the sickness. I think I had depleted all of my buckets and my body was just in a state where any little thing was going to take it down. So, all right. Thanks, Lindy. Hit the like button, everybody. If you have not already, please like this video. I'll say it at the end. I always forget to say it during because I just say my little spiel at the end. But yeah, I definitely think it was because I had gotten all of my buckets depleted that kind of happened. Gina says she's crossing her fingers. It corrected itself. That she doesn't get sick. 3 days of almost 80 degrees. Today it's 30 degrees. Had to pull out the winter coat again. I know. And it's not even that cold outside, but for some reason it's still like 68 in my apartment. Like my apartment won't warm up, and so it's cold in here, and I already don't feel the best. And plus, I just get a lot colder. That's one thing that has changed a lot over losing 160 pounds of hopefully mostly fat. I get cold. A lot. I get cold a lot. But yeah, I hope you don't get sick because I think that's exactly what happened as far as the sickness part. I think I was run down and then we had a little weather snap and then my body just went sick. Oh, Jen, I'm so glad that you were able to make a live as well, even though it's a Sick Misty live, and Sick Misty's kind of whiny, so just be prepared. Yeah, you're crossing your fingers. I got what you meant there, Gina. So and some I say my buckets. Have any of y'all heard of, and if not, I'm going to explain it, but I am curious if any of y'all have heard of like the spoon theory, because it's sort of, I think, the same thing and sort of what I wanted to talk about in burnout. Well, one of the many things, but there's a very good explanation, and it is especially in relation to autoimmune diseases is where you'll see it referenced a lot, where you start out your day with so many spoons, right? So let's say today you have 20 spoons. And you know at the beginning of the day that you have those 20 spoons. And you have to figure out where you want to spend your spoons. So, do you want to do a workout today? Do you want that workout to be 2 spoons or 3 spoons? You got to get ready for work. That's going to be a spoon. You're going to have to engage with people at work. Maybe that's going to be a spoon for you, right? It's not just physical things that you do. It can be emotional tasks or dealing with people or things throughout the day that can take your spoons away from you. And especially when you have an autoimmune or a physical thing that limits your spoons, it's really noticeable that you have to budget those spoons, right? So buckets, same kind of thing, right? You take from your bucket. You start with a full bucket of water, and as you take from your bucket, you are depleting your bucket. I kind of like the bucket aspect because I heard of the spoon theory because of the autoimmune diseases, which I do have one. Um, I haven't gotten a flare yet. I may because I've been sick, but we'll see. I haven't found one yet. I thought maybe that's what I was getting at first, and then it turned out that it was indeed just sickness. But anyway, I kind of like the bucket theory aspect of it a little bit better, only because of my silly brain, I guess. Because bucket, you can take from a bucket, but it always makes me think of the silly song, There's a Hole in the Bucket. There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza. I don't know if y'all know that song. I'm not going to sing it for you right now. Maybe one day. um, but your bucket can have holes too, right? And so sometimes you'll be steadily taken from your bucket, but you have your holes and you're not plugging your holes. You're not taking care of the bucket. And if you don't take care of the bucket overall, it can seep and you can deplete yourself faster than normal. Um, and that's the way my brain kind of thinks about it when it comes to burnout and things like that. Um, Cheryl has heard of it. Charlotte has not heard of it. Yeah, the spoon or bucket theory, same kind of thing. Charlotte says, biggest spoon is decision fatigue. Yeah, oh, I have decision fatigue. Teresa says, why a spoon? That is a very good question, and I'm not sure why a spoon. There's probably a reason. It's been a long time ago that I heard the spoon theory, so I don't know. Cheryl, maybe if you know, or if anyone wants to Google it, there may be a reason why it's a spoon, Teresa, but I honestly don't know. And why other people say it's a bucket, I'm not sure either, or a cup. They all sort of say the same thing, right? Is your cup full, taking from the cup, whatever. I just say a bucket because I think of that song, There's a Hole in the Bucket, dear Liza. Um, I used to really annoy everybody with that song. I once sang it for 45 minutes straight on a bus ride uh, in band. So anyway, it's fun, good times. Hello, Jess. Jess says, hey, team. Thanks for being here. Lindy says, so true. Definitely had to learn to listen to her body with her autoimmune disease. Cheryl says, a blogger coined the theory back in 2003. She gave her friend a handful of spoons to use to get through the day. So it was just a physical representation of her energy. She says, bus rides are the best. Oh, no. Do y'all not know that song? I feel like I want y'all to raise your hand, and then I realize we're not in a room where I can see y'all's response. Do you know that There's a Hole in the Bucket? Do y'all know that song? Raise your hand. Can y'all wave at me or something? Do something if y'all know that song. Now I'm curious if maybe that's not a widely known song. It's a back and forth song. We'll fix it, dear Liza. Yeah, I know you. I know Mama knows it. Actually, we'll fix it, dear Henry, because it's Liza. Anyway, yeah, okay. So y'all know it. Yeah, y'all know it. I mean, even though it's not picking up y'all's actual hand waves. Oh, Coach doesn't know it. Cheryl doesn't know it. Ah, dadgum. I don't know. I mean, I can't sing to begin with, much less. So it's such a fun song because it's just so there's a hole in the bucket. I'm just gonna do it. Let's do it. It's a live stream. I have enough voice to do it right now. We're gonna sing it. You ready? Everybody sing along. If you know the words, sing along. There's a hole in the bucket. Dear Liza, there's a hole in the bucket. Dear Liza, a hole. Well, fix it, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry. Well, fix it, dear Henry, fix it. With what shall I fix it, dear Liza, with what shall I fix it, dear Liza, with what? with a straw, dear Henry, dear Henry, dear Henry, with a straw, dear Henry, dear Henry, a straw. But the straw is too long, dear Liza, dear. So I'm not going to finish all of it, but the straw is too long. So then we'll cut it. With what shall I cut it? With a knife. The knife is too dull. We'll sharpen it. How shall I sharpen it? With a knife. But the knife is too dull. Oh, sorry. Well, the knife is too dull. We'll sharpen it. What shall you sharpen it? With a rock. The rock is too dry. We'll wet it. With what shall I wet it? With water. How shall I get it? With a bucket. There's a hole in the bucket. We'll fix it. With what shall I fix it? For 45 minutes. I don't I don't know how I had friends, but they would take turns singing along at some point. They thought I was gonna stop, but then you can't. At some point, y'all have met me, so I think y'all understand this about Misty. Uh, if I think something's funny, long after everybody else has stopped thinking it's funny, I still think it's funny, and I'm still gonna talk about it years later because I still think it's funny. So that's why I sang that song and didn't stop. We would do that and then the Sherry Lewis Lamb Chop song. This is a song that never ends. That's always a good one too. But if you can get someone to do the Dear Liza and Dear Henry with you back and forth, it's even better. And sometimes my best friend Jason would do it, not all the time. Yeah, this is a song that never ends. That was the other one that we did. That one's fun too. Yeah, thanks. It's a great song. Oh, you've never heard that one, Lindy? It's a good one. It's I don't know why we sang that song ever. You didn't remember? I think there's actually a couple of versions of it, to be fair, but the version that I've always heard is fix it with a straw, but the straw is too long. Cut it with a knife. The knife's too dull. What? There's no water. There's a hole in the bucket. So. Sherry says she's giggling just thinking about anyone just joining in and what they must be thinking's going on. I mean, they'd already met me. It was high school, so I mean, it was band. We had to take buses to some of the games because we would get to go to all of the games, even the away games. We would just have to take the bus. And so, why I started doing it, I don't remember. But I do remember singing it the whole way. And it's not like it was super loud. Like, mainly just the people probably within 4 or 5 rows could hear me. I mean, because it wasn't soft. But, I don't know. Entertainment? Sometimes I look back. Don't you do that? And you look back and you're like, why? But why did you do that? Yeah, that comes up a bunch. That comes up a bunch in my past. Why? But why? Just because? Because. I feel like cuz used to be a really good reason. Your husband was looking at you sideways. I kind of, no offense, I kind of get the feeling maybe he does that from time to time because I think you also are kind of the cuz kind of person just because I can. Oh, you love lamb chop. I know. Sherry Lewis. Sherry Lewis was one of my favorite. I cried. Her and Mr. Rogers, man, just it's tough. Charlotte wants to know what instrument I play. This is why Selena and I are such good friends. I played the clarinet, bass clarinet. Uh, I played a bunch of the clarinets. My favorite was the bass clarinet. I did play the B flat clarinet. I played the contra clarinet, the E flat clarinet, but the bass clarinet was my favorite. I love the sound of that instrument. Actually, the bass clarinet and the bassoon or the oboe. I love the double reeded instruments, the sound of those. But for a single reed instrument, the bass clarinet's my favorite. Hello, Ron. Welcome. My niece, my oldest niece, Natalie, is a flute player. I don't know if she'll stick with it or not, but that's what she played this year. or this past year, I should say. And everybody saying hello to each other. Natasha played flute, then switched to tenor sax. Oh, I actually played saxophone too, because a lot of the notes on the saxophone are the same as on the clarinet. It's just a register change. And I did play saxophone for a jazz band for a song once. And I marched with a saxophone, but I didn't play all the songs. It was better than when I had to march with a trumpet, though. I often ended up injured and not able to march. I don't know how that ended up happening, but anyway, it's fun. Yeah, lots and lots of fun. Oh, I just said she played flute and piccolo and was drum major for the marching band. I could see that. I could see you doing that. That was fun. I tried out for drum major, but I did not make it. My best friend Jason, though, he did. We actually had 3 drum majors. It was pretty cool. Jason, Velvet, and Trisha. I still remember. And they were way better at it than I was. And I only tried out really because everybody wanted me to. Not because I wanted to make it, because it felt like a lot of extra work. Ron played the trombone. Natasha said that's why she switched to sax, because she wanted to be part of the jazz band. All right. Go ahead, girl. Sherry is here. Hello. Welcome. Howdy. Jamie says she was the only 4th grader who was the first clarinet but gave it up because she thought the instructor was mean. I mean, look, just like with your job, people don't quit companies, they quit people. Sometimes you quit teachers, and if that teacher's no good, it can ruin your experience. Yeah, I bet it was fun, Jess. I mean, they really enjoyed it. They got to work on their salute and stuff at the beginning, and because we would go to different contests and stuff. We were a pretty good band, actually, at the time for our little, little 3A school. And now to Sherry is telling hello, everybody, hello. So, so back to what we were talking about when I was so easily distracted by Henry and Liza. Is burnout, right? And it happens, and I think for another reason that I wanted to talk about it is because last week, in having the client here, I got to talk to a lot of people that I get to talk to, but it's always in meetings, and it's not never of a personal nature. Like, they are aware that I have lost weight. They have seen me in video, so they have seen me lose weight over the last few years. So they are, not all of them, but about half of them are aware that it has happened. But it was the first time any of them had seen me, and some of them the first time I'd met any of them, and well, some of them in person. We just met over video and things, right? But I got to talk to them a lot, and going back to the site that I came from, there were a lot of people who were still there that I knew from when I worked there. And the same question comes up a lot, which is, well, how do I do it? I have 20 pounds I want to lose. What's the quickest way to lose those 20 pounds? Or, I have 10 pounds. How can I lose 10 pounds from my stomach? I just really want to lose some of this off my stomach. How can I do that? And when a lot of people start, I think what happens is burnout, because I was even talking to a few of them within the week, and they're like, yeah, I think I'm really going to start. I'm going to work out, 30 minutes a day, 4 or 5 days a week. And they start adding all of these things. And I think adding is healthy, but I think you have to consider your spoons or your bucket. And when you're newer to something, you don't have as many spoons, and you don't have as big of a bucket as someone who is more experienced, and you burn out. But I think the thing that I have to remember is to not get complacent, which is what I was talking about earlier, where there's so much about living here for the last 16 years that I've just become accustomed to that I'm going to miss when I'm not here. And I've kind of taken them for granted. And so I want to remember that you always have to be aware of things. Even if, I mean, I still have more weight to lose, I'm sure, right? But even once you hit that maintenance phase that we talk about, and some of you are there, it doesn't stop. And you always risk that burnout if you're not careful. And sometimes the burnout is because you're sick, right? It may be because one of those buckets gets depleted for whatever reason. Um, and so it throws off that balance and it can make you feel that burnout more intensely. But the more you do things, the more experienced you are, the more practiced you are at things, the better you get, the more spoons you have, the bigger your bucket is, and you can do those things. So it was funny how so many people, there's just so many expectations of what health and fitness looks like. And it is really driven by social media. And it's really not the best representation of what it really is, right? It's progress over time, but yet have to be consistent over time to show that progress. It's not just progress over time if you're not doing anything. It's sort of like, I was telling one of my friends the other day, it's sort of like, it was actually one of my old kids. I was his very first trainer, and now he's a manager for our company. But I was telling him it's like praying. It's like praying to God that you win the marathon. But you never went and signed up for the race. What did you want him to do for you? Like, you you have some skin in the game here. Like, you gotta do some of it too. You can't just wish for a thing to happen and take no action. You can't pray to win a race that you didn't ever sign up for. um, and you have to set healthy boundaries when you do things, right? But knowing where you're at and starting there can be tricky when you see all of these people telling you, take this product, try this product, this is what fitness looks like, this is what health looks like. It's hard, it's tricky. And if you're out there and you've done it and you've been successful in any realm, kudos to you. Good job. Hooray for you. Applause. Nicely done. It's hard. I mean, I've been super successful. Wildly successful. And I've been really diligent. I've been very disciplined. I've been consistent. And over time, everybody gets to see the progress, including me. And then I get so used to being able to do all of the things that I stopped paying attention to my physical bucket. Like, I'm a superwoman, right? I can do whatever. I got all this energy. I can keep going, going, going. And then I did. And I went and I went and I went and I worked out every day and I worked every day and I built things on the weekend and I was packing and unpacking and loading things and unloading things and sorting things and traveling, and I was exhausted. And I had let my bucket empty without realizing it because I wasn't fixing the holes. And if there was a hole, I tried to fix it with a straw that was too long. That silly song's maybe more appropriate than I had anticipated, but you have to pay attention. And I was so busy wrapped up in my brain about all of the other things that I stopped paying attention to how I felt physically. And then I could feel it coming because I stopped responding to comments. I stopped wanting to reply to conversations that were being had. I didn't want to take on the conversation. I didn't feel like I had the energy for it. And then I let it go too far and I got sick. And it's taken me like a week to recover. And I'm sure you can probably tell I'm still not 100%. I'm a lot better. And I will continue to get better every day because now I'm aware. I'm making sure I eat enough. I'm making sure I'm hydrated. You know, I'm doing all of the things. I did test, like I said, for several days just to make sure it wasn't anything more than just the regular old common cold of allergies or something, and that definitely seems to be what it is. But yeah, I stopped paying attention to that bucket and thought that bucket was invincible and didn't have any holes in it, and it did. And when you're new to something, it's easy to overlook the holes or try to patch them with something that doesn't really work. But keep trying, right? That's the only way you're going to learn. Because you can watch what other people do and you can emulate what they do. But everybody's different. Everybody is different. And everybody's different. Our mental states are different. Our physical states are different. Our locations are different. Our genetics are different. Our surroundings are different. Everything is different. And you have to find what's going to work for you. And most importantly, and for really a lot of people, this is the piece that's missing, is what is sustainable. And obviously, in the month of March, getting ready for this move, I was overly anxious and pushed too hard. I mean, I'm done. I'm done, and I still have 2 weeks left, and I didn't do anything last week towards the move, really. So I did too much too fast because I was worried about it, and I let that bucket get depleted because I did more than I could. But I hadn't pushed myself that hard, so I also didn't know. But once I realized it, I backed off. Now, I still worked out every day. I did something. Like I said, I didn't lift not a weight last week. Not a single time that I remember, other than maybe like a 2-pound hand weight. But as far as lifting my 12 or 15-pound dumbbells, that's quite a difference between a 2-pound hand weight. But I did videos on Tuesday and Thursday. I did 30 minutes of the workout on Wednesday. I did like 10-15 minutes on the Monday. But it still felt good to move. And that consistency of doing it mentally helped me as well. And even though it still sounds crazy in my brain, moving more helps me move more. As long as I do it responsibly, right? And for a minute there, I wasn't being responsible about it and I was doing too much. And I think when a lot of people start, they're not thinking of everything that they're doing in a source of sustainability. Natasha, look at me talking about sustainability, not about the ecosystem, but about our lives, which are also important. um, Teresa says, have y'all seen Fitbit's readiness score? It lets you know when your bucket's getting empty or when it's fueled. No, and I have a Fitbit. Where is that? Is it in the app somewhere, Teresa? Because now I feel like I want to know more about this. Because I do have a Fitbit and I do have an app. But I have not seen anything about a readiness score. Because I am curious if it knows. Because I'm not sure that it would. I don't know. I don't know if it would or not. I'm curious now. Do you know where it is, Teresa? I have the app open, but I don't know where it is. And I do not know, Charla, if the Apple Watch has anything like that or not. But I am curious about it. Because I do think for a lot of people it's overwhelming. You're trying to change what you're eating. You're trying to change your exercise. You're trying to fit everything into a schedule. For a lot of people, they start journaling it. For some people, they start documenting it on YouTube. It's a lot. Like, it's a whole bunch. Oh, it's on your main screen? Yeah, I do not have premium. So maybe that's why. I do not pay for the premium. Not on that. I pay for a bunch of other stuff that I don't need. That one I could use, but oh well. Actually, nope. She says she doesn't have premium. Janine says it's near the top of your phone app screen. Oh, you have to edit it. I know what y'all are talking about. Welcome to your pal Misty's live stream where she tries to do things. Nope. I just have zone, minutes, steps, calories, floors, and distance. I don't see anything. I see other things I can add. Stress management, mindfulness, blood glucose, menstrual health, weight, water, food. Nothing about a readiness score, so I'm not sure. But my was depleted. I let them get depleted. I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't being mindful. And I did too much all too fast. Too much too soon. Too much too fast. And I wasn't paying attention and not giving myself any rest time or downtime, and I needed to. And it caught up with me. And so when I wasn't prepared to give my body downtime, my body decided we're just going to take it. And that's what happens. And that's what you don't want to happen, because then it's harder, right? I would have rather had maybe done, a few less things at night, or maybe not the full hour of workouts, which I can't imagine me ever going there, but I'd probably cut other things of physical activity, to be honest, just because the hour in the morning is really helpful. Even on Tuesdays and Thursdays when boot camp's in the afternoons, I do her videos in the morning because I feel like it's part of my day. I have to get up and get moving. Like, I don't start the day with caffeine, with my Bang. As much as I love them, I don't start the day with Bang. Excuse me. Dang, we did really good. I've been coughing all day. So we're about to wrap it up if I'm starting to cough. But I really like the hour-long workouts in the morning. Sorry, I was reading the comments, though. Yes, I am feeling better. Thank you. Oh, it's your sleep score? Is that what the readiness score is? Because if your readiness score is your sleep score, mine is crap. I can already tell you that. I remember Camille saying something about she finally got excellent. Oh, no, sleep is different. Okay, good. I'm just looking right now, and I have not gotten anything other than poor or fair in like the last several weeks. But it also does not say that I go to bed when I go to bed, because I know for a fact that I have fallen asleep, woken up, gone back to sleep, and the Fitbit still says I wasn't asleep for another hour after that. So I'm not sure what it is. Oh, Michelle's here. Hey, Michelle, thanks for joining. You need movement in the morning too. Yeah, it's part of my sustainable lifestyle is doing something in the morning, even if it's only 5 minutes. So anyway, buckets depleted, voice is getting depleted. Need some liquid, some water, but I didn't bring any over here with me today. So we're going to wrap it up there for the evening. I do appreciate all of you being here tonight to talk about burnout, right? It's a real thing. Try not to let it happen to you. When you're new, just be mindful that new things are going to be more difficult to sustain, and it's new. And as you learn, if you need to adapt how you fix that hole in your bucket, that's okay. Find what works best for you to fix that hole. And be mindful of how much you're taking out, or how many spoons you have to give today, and how many you use, and how many you are giving away that you shouldn't and that you could use for other things. So, exciting week, normal week for me. It's going to be the last normal week for a little bit. So I'm going to try to enjoy it. And I definitely appreciate that y'all are here tonight to kick it off. I missed y'all last week. I really did. I kept thinking about doing another live stream in the week, and I just didn't. It was one of those holes that wasn't the way I needed to fix it. So, so we did no live stream. So I've missed one all year, and I think that's still pretty good, and I'm still pretty proud of myself. I'm still going to take it nice and easy this week. Amy's out of town, so we won't be doing our normal Tuesday, Thursday evening workout. So I'll just do my Tuesday, Thursday mornings. I'm just being mindful at night, making sure that I eat enough, making sure that I drink enough, making sure that I take care of myself, taking some decongestants to help make me feel a little bit better. I may end up losing my voice, so I don't know how many more videos I'll get this week. But before I do go, I wanted to let everybody know that I will be doing a live stream this Saturday over at Cheryl's Place, which is the name of her channel, my friend Cheryl Davis, with me, her, and our friend Maha over at Journey with Maha. Oh, what is it? Oh, no, Maha, what is your channel name? Isn't it Journey with Maha? Sure, tell me. Anyway, so it's going to be at 2 p.m. Central this coming up Saturday, which is what, the 22nd? I don't even know, Cheryl. I should have. The 22nd. Yes, the 22nd. So if you can join us, Maha and Cheryl always just are such fun. They make me laugh. So it's going to be a really good time. We'll have a lot of great conversation. So I'd love to see y'all there. I don't know if I'll have any other videos to say it, so I want to make sure that I get this one out. But hopefully my voice will come back in the next day or two as this weather dries out and this congestion clears for me. So I see everybody saying good night, good night, good night, Michelle. Good night, Cheryl. Thank you, Coach. I will rest up. Cheryl sending love to everyone. Yes, relaxed and stress-free. Yesterday I watched Wicked Tuna. So many episodes of Wicked Tuna. I don't even know. Who won what day? Who knows? It was mindless and it was wonderful. I plan on doing some more of that this evening. Actually, I'm going to read a little bit. I've been reading my certification book. It's a good book. But my brain's feeling a little bit more connected, so I think I'm going to study a little bit too while I'm at it. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Like this video if you like it, dislike it if you didn't, subscribe if you know how, and comment down below whether you think of it as spoons, buckets. Do you have another way of representing it? What signs do you have that you are nearing burnout, and what ways have you learned to overcome it? And until next time, I'll see you real soon. Good night, everybody. Have a great week.